What's up, people of the internet? Your Lake of the Ozarks realtor, Elise Jenkins with Nettwork Global, bringing you an exclusive interview with my lending partners, Brandi and Kaitlyn.
I am Brandi Martin. I'm with Flat Branch Home Loans. I am a mortgage loan officer in Lake of the Ozarks, and I've been doing this for about 29 years. It's really kind of a funny story. So I was working for a bank as a teller, and let's see, I would have been 24, and I had a customer that always came into the bank and wanted to wait in my line and wanted me to wait on him. And it was really funny because I thought he was super arrogant, and I was like, I didn't really care for him that much. But I ended up, really liking him. And one day he asked me to come outside of the bank and talk to him. And I'm like, okay, this is weird, but okay. And he said, I want to offer you a job. It was a really cool story because I fell into this job and I love it. I honestly do. Even through the ups and downs, I've always enjoyed what I do. So a big question that I get is, people feel like rates are really high. When honestly, if you average the interest rate over the last 50 years, we are under the average, national average interest rate, for the last 50 years. So one thing you have to keep in mind as you feel like rates are high, appreciation is still really high. So if you're waiting for rates to come down to purchase a home and you wait 6 months and appreciation is 5%, you may be paying the same payment with a higher rate and a lower price than you would be going ahead and purchasing now with a higher rate and a lower price. So just to compare, if you currently bought a home with a lower sales price and a higher interest rate, or you waited 6 months or a year, you may be buying that home with a higher price and a lower interest rate, but with things appreciating anywhere from 5 to 10% nationwide, that payment still may be the same or even higher. So it's something to think about if you are on the fence about buying. So I feel like there's a lot of challenges that buyers are facing in this market. The first step for a buyer, honestly, is to get with your lender and a local lender, no matter where you live. You want to sit down or be able to talk to that person and get pre-approved for your home. It's a huge deal. You want to make sure that you have someone that is on your side that will help you step by step through the whole process. You definitely don't want to be out looking for homes and fall in love with a $500,000 home when really what you qualify for is more like $300,000. The best advice that I have for you is to first talk with a lender and sit down with them and see exactly what you need to do and where you qualify. In the last 5 years since COVID, basically, a lot of people have interest rates in the 2s and the 3s, and they just don't want to get rid of that. But honestly, if you need to move up and you have an interest rate from that time period, you probably have a ton of equity as well. So if you're thinking about it and you don't want to get rid of that rate, really you need to talk to someone that can show you, should I pay off some debt? Should I invest some of my funds with all the equity that you have and still purchase a home? I know that 3% sounds great, but you still have to think about what's best for you financially. So we are lucky enough to live at Lake of the Ozarks, and we do a ton of financing on second homes and investment properties here at the lake. So if you're dreaming of coming to the lake and purchasing a home, whether it be a primary home or a second home, we have a lot of options. It's definitely a different beast to purchase a second home, and especially here at the lake, you really want to make sure you work with a local lender because there's docks, there's septics, there's wells. You don't want to be stuck with a big company that has never done anything here at the lake, or a company out of state that just doesn't really know what's going on. And there's, like I said, if you're wanting to be a primary resident and live here full time, a lot of people are doing that because during COVID, they no longer had to go to their offices. So They make this their primary residence. They may also have a home in another city, but they just wanted to live close to the lake. That's definitely an option. If it is actually your second home or an investment property, there's just different down payment amounts. On a second home, you can still put 10% down, but your rate is going to be very high. So that's something that I always talk to my clients about is I give them options of 10% down, 20% down, and 25% down. So they know exactly where their payment's going to be and if they're going to be paying a lot of fees if they only put down 10%. So, like the Ozarks, it's a place to be. And if you need to look into financing, you just let us know. So let's talk first-time home buyers because, to be honest, that's really my favorite thing to do is first-time home buyers. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home, again, your first step is to reach out to me. You want to make sure that, there's a few different first-time home buyer programs. There's USDA Zero Down. There's an MHDC that is with a grant. That is a Missouri Housing Development Grant. There's also Flat Branch has flex funds. There's also other types of grants. Those are probably my favorite that I use. There's also VA loans that are zero down if you're a veteran. I love that program as well. But there's a lot of documentation that you need to provide to make sure that you are on the right track to get approved. Especially if you're young and you had any credit issues, that's what my team and I will do is make sure that you're on the right track, that your credit is where it needs to be. And if it's not, we will definitely give you all the information that you need because we don't say no, we say when. So to get started, you would just want to give us a call and we'll lead you through that process. So if you think you are ready to purchase a home, you definitely want to reach out to a lender that you know, like, and trust. And obviously we want to be that lender for you. But you just want to, even if you think that it's not going to happen in 6 months or a year, if you are thinking it's in your future, you want to make sure that you talk to someone that can get you prepared. There's just a lot of different things that go on, timing on your job, whether you have variable income. So definitely start that process before you fall in love with a house that maybe you can't afford. That's just a terrible feeling to have, that you love this home and now maybe you can't afford it. When you're purchasing a home, there's always costs involved with that. Even if it's a zero down home loan, there's still closing costs, there's still taxes and insurance to set up your escrow. And inside of your payment, most people will have their taxes and insurance included. But one of the things you definitely want to talk to your lender about is the fees to get the home. Right now is not a good time to be buying down your rate and paying a lot of fees to get a lower interest rate. Because in this market, we do feel like rates are eventually going to come down and we'll be doing a refinance for you. So if you're paying a lot of fees to get a lower interest rate and rates come down, those fees would probably be wasted. So just make sure that you talk through the fees with your lender. There are some origination fees, of course, appraisal fee, credit report fees, title fees, and then your recording fees. And most lenders should be about, very similar. So I would compare. It does not hurt your credit at all to compare mortgage companies in a 45-day period. You can have your credit report ran as many times as you would like. And that's so you can make sure you're getting a good deal and someone isn't taking advantage of you. Another option that we have is we can actually just pull a soft pull credit report. Now, of course, it won't be completely precise, but it'll be really close. But if you're not wanting to have your credit pulled on a hard pull, we have that option just to get an idea of where you're going to be. And then once we get a little bit more serious, we can pull a hard pull credit report. So when I sit down with my first-time home buyers, a lot of times I feel like no one has ever explained the process to them. So that is a huge deal because it's all new and it's one of your biggest financial, if not your biggest financial decision you will ever make. So just to give you kind of an overview of what the milestones are, the first step again is to sit down, do a video call, or apply online for your home loan. Once you do that, I'm going to call you and we're going to go over what your payment's going to be, what your down payment's going to be, what if you want the seller to pay any closing costs. Once we determine that and we get you all, make sure that you feel good about the payment and the down payment, at that point, you're ready to start looking for homes. And we will make sure that you're set up with a realtor if you don't already have one in mind. We definitely want to make sure that there's a realtor involved to help you through this process. There's just a lot that goes on between a buyer and seller, and you need someone to help you. Your next step is you find your home that you love and you want to make an offer on. Then your realtor will walk you through that with your negotiations. Once you get the contract accepted, then that's where you come back to me and we talk about what interest rates are and whether you want to lock your interest rate right now or options of floating to see what happens with rates. And after we do that, we actually disclose all the documents to you so you can look at them, go through them, ask questions, and get those signed. Once you've signed all your loan documents, then we're going to put your file into our processing and underwriting system. So in the beginning, we've already got an automated approval. Then we go to underwriting for someone to actually put their human eyes on the file, and we order your appraisal at that point. So once your appraisal comes in, I will reach out to you and let you know what the value is, as well as if there's any repairs that need to be done. Keep in mind during this time, the underwriter may have asked for documents from you. That's totally common. There may be something that she just wants a little bit more information on. So through that process, I want you to know that that's why you're working with us, a professional that is going to walk you through each step so you're not worried about it and stressed out about it. But once we get that appraisal and we hopefully have all of our documents back into the underwriter, that's when we get the clear to close and we can move to the closing table. And you can get the keys, and that's when we celebrate.
I want to give a huge thank you to Salisbury Property Management for sponsoring this video. If you live here at the Lake of the Ozarks, or if you own property here, you know how much work goes into managing it. And that's exactly where Salisbury Property Management comes in. They offer a full range of property management services, giving you the flexibility to choose between short-term or long-term rental options. What truly sets them apart is their over 17 years of experience right here at the Lake of the Ozarks. Their commitment extends beyond managing properties. They provide professional cleaning, professional marketing, excellent customer service and communication, and they even offer monthly direct deposit and affordable rates. Whether you're looking to attract vacationers or tenants for a longer commitment, they provide expert guidance and full service management to ensure your property is well maintained and generating optimal income. Choosing Salisbury Property Management means your investment is in the hands of professionals who know the intricacies of the market, giving you total peace of mind. Seriously, a huge thank you again to Salisbury Property Management for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. For a direct link to book this house for your next lake vacation, check the pinned comments below. Let's get back to the video.
I am Kaitlyn Rice with Flat Branch Home Loans. I work with Brandi Martin on Team Brandi. My job as her loan officer assistant is to help with our applications, getting them through the pre-approval process, as well as our clients getting to clear to close to the closing table. I've been working for Brandi for going on 4 years. I have a bachelor's degree in marketing management and met Brandi about 4 years ago and fell in love with her. I knew that she was going to be, from the moment I met her, going to be a good mentor for me, somebody I would want to learn from and want to be someday. I am born and raised here at Lake of the Ozarks. I moved away for college and lived in St. Louis for a few years. After getting married, we realized we were traveling home all the time, maybe every weekend. So we finally found the opportunity to work from home, and he found a local job, and we were able to buy a home. Felt like a dream that come true. When growing up here at the lake, it doesn't feel possible. It doesn't feel possible to be able to work and live and play all at the same place. That is what got me into home loans. After meeting Brandi and learning about homeownership and to be a homeowner myself, I realized why I really wanted to enter this industry. Homeownership has placed me in a financial space that allowed me to move home where I can live, work, and play. It's a dream come true, and I'm honored to be able to do that and looking forward to helping others. I'm really excited to announce that last year I did pass my MLO licensing exam through the state, and so now I am a licensed loan officer. My goals are to become Brandi's junior loan officer and work underneath her, with her, by her, for the foreseen future. As I transition to a junior loan officer, that means that it's a very exciting. It also can be a little nerve-wracking. I will be transitioning to a commission-based only position. So that means it's really about putting myself out there more instead of putting just Brandi, putting us, Team Brandi, and also just connecting with everyone, helping with buyer's agents, borrowers, potential borrowers, friends, family, supporting everyone as their local lender. I look forward to doing that, and I look forward to really helping because I'm seeing, after working with Brandi and her clients, that's really what I'm passionate about doing.
Let's talk about government loans. There's obviously, everyone knows about a conventional 20% down loan, but do you know that there's other loan types, and some are government loan types that you don't have to have that much down? There's actually USDA, which is a zero down loan program. There's FHA, which is 3.5% down. There's also conventional 3% down, up to whatever percent you want to put down. VA is also a great program which allows veterans to purchase a home with a no down payment, also without mortgage insurance. If you don't put 20% down, you're going to have mortgage insurance. FHA, you have monthly and you have upfront. USDA, you have monthly and upfront. Also to mention, credit score, we can go down to a 580 credit score. You're going to get a better interest rate if your credit score is above 640. But these are great government loan programs. We also have an MHDC, which is a Missouri Housing Development Loan Program, which you may qualify for a grant. Some of these government loan programs, you have to make under a certain amount for your household size. There's several programs, though, for you to get in with very little money out of pocket. Let's just clarify a few rumors, too, on some of these programs. So you do not have to be a first-time home buyer on most of these programs I just visited about. USDA, you cannot own another home. FHA, you do not have to be a first-time home buyer. MHDC, which is the grant program, you do have to be a first-time home buyer. And on veterans, you can use your VA loan as many times as you would like. It's just not a one-time loan and you're done. Also, if you receive disability from VA, you're more than likely not going to pay the VA funding fee. So again, reach out to a local lender, which we would love to help you, and make sure you're asking them all these questions to figure out what the best loan program is for you and your family. So one of the most important things about this process is working with a lender and a realtor that have a strong relationship together. Again, this is just a really big financial decision, and it's best that you have a team from start to finish to work with you. That team is going to help you get through the process. They're used to working together on transactions. They work together all the time. They know the process. They know how the other one works well with their clients. So working with a realtor such as Elise that has so much attention to detail is super important. We are all a team working together to get you to the closing table and into your home. We're just going to give you a few ideas of things not to do when you're purchasing a home. For example, never buy a car, ever, while you're buying a home.
You can buy a car, but
No, don't do it.
buy your home first.
If you're going to purchase something or make big changes financially, you just need to reach out to us first. Another big one is do not change jobs. It's okay if you have a conversation with us and you are going to a new position within the company or another company that is more income, same line of work, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But anything that you do when you're purchasing a home, you just want to make sure that you talk through it with your lender, because it can make a big difference on your approval status or not. Don't be moving money all around.
Transferring money is the biggest thing.
So once you sit down with your lender, you tell them if you want to move from your savings to your checking, and the reason being is your checking account may cut off on this date, savings may be this date, and we can't really tell how much you have if you've been transferring money back and forth. And I know these things, they seem so petty and people get frustrated, but if you know it up front, then you're more prepared to make everything a lot less stressful.
Yeah, you'll like me a lot more if you don't move money around.
This is true.
Don't give up. You can do this. Keep trying. If you are wanting to be a home owner and join that world, we're here to help. That's one thing that I've learned, is that every scenario there's a solution, and so we're here to help you find that solution.
Absolutely. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. Our office is located at Lake of the Ozarks. We're on Bagnell Dam Boulevard. You can reach out to me on my cell phone anytime at 816-809-2270. Email us, bmartin@fbhl.com.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd love to help
I think
you.
that's all the places.
Yeah.
If you need anything, call us.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.